Hi, my name is Laura Bakken, and this is my ceremonial speech, and here is my audience. This is Ashley, Michael, Christopher, my husband, and Shawnee and Braden. Okay, here. Okay. And here. On February 5th, 1973, a baby boy was born at the Sakakawea Medical Center in Hazen, North Dakota to Danny and Diane Bakken. He weighed in at a whopping 8 pounds, 15 and a half ounces, and 22 inches long. His father's first reaction was excitement because both his wife, after suffering a difficult delivery, and his new baby boy were alive and well. Danny and Diane shared many tears of joy as they gazed upon their new addition to their family. The nurse came in, and it was time to name this adorable bundle of joy. His name would be Christopher Ray Bakken. Christopher means Christ bearer, anointed one, or bearing Christ inside. Chris's first month of life involved intense bonding. His favorite place to sleep was on his daddy's chest, creating an unending bond between father and son. From that point on, he was daddy's boy. As Chris developed into a strikingly handsome young man, he endured many challenges in his life, which his parents supported him through. Danny and Chris also continued to be hooked at the hip. This was evident by the moments shared together in the garage tinkering on derby cars. Chris's interests in hunting and fishing were heightened by his father's love for the outdoors, and to this day Chris is still a great outdoorsman due to his father's influence. Things were not always smooth sailing. One of Chris's first major tumbles as a young man was when he got his Kit Kat snowmobile. He got on the snowmobile with such excitement. He himself could feel the gifted driver from within wanting to come out. He rolled the Kit Kat snowmobile so gracefully, he must have forgotten what he was doing, and he drove right into a tree. Kablam! Chris attended Stanton Elementary School. He loved basketball, t-ball, softball, and he tried his hand at football. He was quite the troublemaker, according to his teachers. If there was a joke to be played or a prank that needed completing, it was Chris who would take it upon himself to complete the task with great pride. Chris and the teachers were not always sure exactly where his classroom was because he spent most of his time in the principal's office. His parents can recall the teachers being overwhelmed with joy when he graduated in the year of 1991. You see, during his time in high school, there was a smirk that Chris could get upon his face that would drive the teachers crazy. Diane, who helped and guided Chris through school, stated even his principal said at one time, "Diane, you know that look that Chris gets on his face, that smirk? It made me want to hit him, but I didn't, but I wanted to." So for those of you who know Chris, watch out for that smirk because it has been known to drive people crazy. Chris loved and still loves to push people to the extreme. He has and is a planner. He had always had plans of having a family after high school. Before he graduated school, he even had his daughter's name picked out. Her name shall be Shanna Ray. After high school, Chris began an exciting career life. His first job was at McDonald's. He worked there for a total of one whole day. Then he decided it was time to hang up his fry cook hat. Then he moved to Kilder, North Dakota, where he worked in the gas station. And from there, he broadened his sights and he took on a job at the Maker Mall as a security officer. Watch out! Officer Christopher is on duty. After 1 year, Chris decided to return home to Stanton, North Dakota, and he began a full-time career as a millwright in the local 1091. He continued in this career for about 7 years. During this time, he was looking for love in all the wrong places. Then he happened to wander into a little local bar to refill his beverage, and boom, pow, bang. It was love at first sight. He saw a glorious bartender who was full of so much spirit that he himself could not resist her. He began to talk to her, and their conversations grew. He knew he had his work cut out for him. This was not going to be one of those typical one-night stands. Their first date was a mud run in New Salem, North Dakota, where Chris raced and won the heart of this bartender named Laura. His caring heart was very apparent from the beginning of this relationship. Conversations of extreme importance took place during their dating period, and Laura thought it would scare Chris off. Instead, it went something like this. Laura said in a calm and concerned voice, "You don't want to get involved with me." Chris said, "Let me be the judge of that." Laura said, "I'm sick." Chris said, "That's okay. You'll get better." Laura sighed and looked back up at him. "You don't understand. I'm sick." I've been diagnosed with Addison's disease and I don't know how long I have. Chris said, let me decide. I will take care of you. I will take you just as you are. Well, this melted Laura's heart, and she knew that he was a keeper. Chris then applied for a permanent job at Leland Old Station near Stanton, North Dakota. News came in March of 2001. He was hired full-time, and the real magic began in May of the same year when the wedding of two quite different individuals came together. They ran hand in hand to the courthouse to get hitched. Who would have thought two different individuals would soon be blessed from heaven above with a bundle of joy on January 3rd of 2002? Her name shall be Shanna Rose. And on July 19th of 2003, another bundle of joy blessed their home. Her name shall be Winter Rain. Chris said he will never forget the date since it is as easy as 1, 2, 3. All the numbers of the years of the most important things occurring in his life. Chris continues to make a difference in our lives. He is a dedicated father, an amazing husband, a valid lover, an outstanding provider, and this is proven by his unconditional love towards his three ladies on a daily basis. He is hardworking, persevering. He is always pushing himself to his extreme purpose. He even opened up his home to my cousins, Roberta and Ashley, so that they too could have a better start at life. He has a huge heart, but he guards it well. He is a peacemaker in a house full of women. Chris has always said it takes 50-50 in a marriage. He pulls his weight and I pull mine. But the days when my illness takes over, Chris pulls and carries it all. My heart breaks when I am not able to stand by his side to uphold the foundation of our mansion with the pillars side by side. You see, he doesn't really know that when I get sick, that it's a storm within my soul. Every fear becomes real, and the thought of not being able to help him and be by his side scares me and takes the breath right out of me. And this is when the world around me seems so unmanageable and helpless, and the helplessness settles in my soul. But when he walks in the room, my breath returns to me. He is my rock, my lover, my best friend, and my strength in the midst of the storm. He is the rainbow that appears in the midst of a rainfall of emotional storms and physical pains through my struggles of health problems. He is my stronghold. To all of us and the ladies in his life, he is our man, our protector, the hunter, the provider, our daddy, my amazing husband. Are there angels? It was once said that there are angels in heaven above, and they shine with the light of an inner love. Of these things I have not a clue, but that was before I found you. For in you I found a love so right. It shines all around with the brightest of light. It comes from somewhere so deep within, and it has no beginning and it has no end. Your love is the light that brightens each day of all the people you see on your way. Wherever you go and whatever you do, all that see the love that shines inside of you. God must have sent you here to a place where you could be sharing so much love with someone like me that would be so daring. This is proof enough for me that angels exist and are filled with a love that no one can resist. I thank God each day for finding the time, for looking down on me and making you mine. So yes, there are angels in heaven above, and I know this, God sent me you to love. Today I honor you, Christopher Bakken, and I want to thank you for being my angel. And may we have many more blessed anniversaries. Yay!